friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm just doing one of my little quarantine fun Friday looks. So today is going to be a red eye look. So I'm starting by priming my face. Of course, I moisturized off camera, my skin is washed and everything. So I'm currently just priming with my go-to Fenty primer. I'll have everything that I'm using linked, well not linked, but in the description box, of course, because I'm probably not going to go by every single thing that I used, because that's a lot for me to just go through all my makeup, because I recorded this like last week. So I am now using my foundation, which is the Dermablend foundation, which I actually really love this foundation a lot. I got this a few years ago, which I feel like that's kind of gross, but I don't use it often, so that makes it better, I guess. This is usually like just my summer foundation because I am a lot darker in the summertime compared to winter. I get extremely pale. So that is what I'm doing right now. I'm mixing it with some argan oil that I got from Trader Joe's. I've realized that doing that really helps my skin not look disgustingly like dry, because I have a thing with just having dry patches on my face. No matter how much moisturizer I put on, as soon as I put on foundation, it just like shows all of my dry spots, which is really annoying. But this has really been helping me, so I've been doing that. So as you can see, I'm using a little flat brush, which I actually really love. I usually use my Real Techniques, I think it's a foundation brush, but I really like this brush a lot more for just going in, like applying the foundation, because it gives me a really smooth finish and it's not streaky or anything. So while I'm doing that, I just want to say I hope everyone's doing good. I hope you guys are, surviving this whole quarantine, because, we're still in the middle of a pandemic, regardless of if people want to acknowledge it or not, which is really frustrating because we could be out of this by now if people would just listen and stay home, but whatever, I can't really say much because I have had my fair share of going out here and there. Not really going out, more so seeing my friends, but even I know that that's not okay, so I have stopped doing that. So I'm back to square one, just sitting at home creating content for you guys, doing lots of painting. So now, as you can see, I'm going in with the Real Techniques brush and blending it out, because I really like how this brush blends out my foundation, if that makes sense. But I like the application of the flat brush better. I also use the flat brush to like mix the oil with my foundation, so that helps a lot. But yes, I hope everyone's doing okay. I know a lot of people have died due to COVID in America, which is really horrible, and it could have been prevented, but people are not going to listen, so I would say, what can you do? But like, we really can do things if people just choose not to, because majority of the people in this country are selfish. So here we are. So I'm just blending that onto my neck, making sure everything is even, which honestly, looking back, I still feel like this foundation is kind of light. I don't know. So now I'm priming my eyelids with the Morphe eye primer. Like I said earlier, I'll have everything in the description box, so the names verbatim will be in the description box, because I don't know everything off the top of my head, as I recorded this like a week ago. And I think that I've changed up my steps quite a bit. So I think I used to do my eyebrows first, But now I've gotten to the point where like I do everything else first. I do my base and then my eyebrows. Like once I finish all of that, I feel like it's just easier because I don't mess up my eyebrows. I don't have to be careful around them. So now I'm using my finger to blend that out even more, just so it's like a seamless, no patchy look on my eyeball, you know. So now I'm going to do my eyebrows. I'm using a Morphe brush, so it's a double-ended brush. One side is a spoolie, the other side is an angled brush. I love using angled brushes to do my eyebrows just because I use powder. So I actually use my eyeshadow palette to do my eyebrows, which I feel like a lot of people probably cringe when they hear me say that, but it works really well for me. And I have yet to like try any eyebrow products really, except for like setting gel. So like I want to find ones that I like, so if you guys have any suggestions on what I should use, I will be more than happy to try them out. I feel like my eyebrows did not come out like I wanted them to in this video. I feel like I stress myself out when I do my eyebrows. Like I really pressure myself to get them to look even. I understand eyebrows are sisters, not twins, but it's like I literally cannot stand to look at my eyebrows if they are not like almost identical. As y'all can see, I really am just taking forever on this eyebrow. My wrists are literally starting to hurt. That's how you know I'm doing a lot. So I did my other eyebrow off camera because of how long it just took me to do that one eyebrow. It's a bit ridiculous, so I just felt like y'all did not want to see all of that, nor did you need to see all of that. It's like 10 minutes worth of video footage of me just doing my eyebrows. That's a lot. So now I'm setting my eyebrows with that same palette that I used for my eyebrows, setting my eyelids with the same eyeshadow palette that I used for my eyebrows. It's the Lorac palette. So I'm just setting them with a nice beige color. I'm going in now into my crease with a brown shade. I'm gonna try to tell y'all the exact colors that I'm using in the description because I pretty much use the same base colors every time I start my eyes, but sometimes I do not. So I believe I know all the colors I used in this video, so I'll be sure to let you guys know, but you obviously don't have to use these exact colors. You can use any type of browns, reds, whatever that you like or that work for you. Because I know all colors do not look the same on all skin tones, so just do what makes you happy. So I'm really blending. The key to a good eye look is always blending. So now I'm going in with a light red shade. And I'm just putting that slightly under my crease where I put the brown. I'd say it's still in my crease, but it's like just a little bit below it. But the brush is like a fluffier brush, so it still goes into my crease, if that makes any sense. So I'm just doing the same thing on the other eye. I really like how my base has been looking recently. I know I said this earlier with the whole oil in my foundation thing, but I feel like that really changed the whole game for me. Like, I used to really not be a foundation person. Also, I'm now going back into my crease with a darker brown. But I used to not be a foundation person just because my skin is just so dry all the time. Like, no matter how much moisturizer I put on, it always ends up looking dry somehow once I put on foundation. And it's just incredibly annoying. So now I'm going in with a darker red color directly on my eyelid. I'm using a denser brush. Also, I have a new setup, as y'all can see. I can't remember if my other videos were like this, if I've made any videos in this setup. My boyfriend and I switched desks, so here I am. I'm in the corner now. So I'm just going in with that same shade more. I'm just building it up. Now I'm going back into my crease, using that brown shade again, just trying to blend everything out. I feel like I definitely went a little bit too far into my inner corner with this look. And it kind of annoyed me, like it really bothered me. But I tried to fix it to the best of my ability. But you know, I'm not a professional. I'm just here to do this because I enjoy doing my makeup. So right now I am now using a light orange shade. And then right now I'm going back in with that first brown crease color to blend it out more, just because, like I just said, I feel like I went too hard on the inner corner and it just messed up the whole thing for me. Like, as y'all can see, it's such like a heavy line, if that makes sense, at my inner corner / nose bridge, like the beginning of my nose bridge, and I really don't like that. I'm stressed on the inside. Like, I can see on my face, I was so stressed about that. So now I'm just going over with a light pink. It is a shimmery color. So I'm doing that in my, like the front half of my eyelid, slightly on my inner corner, but not all the way into my inner corner. I'm just packing that on more. I believe I sprayed my brush as well. And now I'm just going in with a darker red shimmer color on my outer part of my eyelid. Now I'm doing my concealer, so of course I'm using Miss Fenty, and my shade is 255, I believe. Now I'm using a cream bronzer because I feel like I've just been using a lot of powder lately, and like it has been hot as hell. So I cannot walk outside with hella powder on my face. It's just not, it's not a look. So I'm blending out my concealer. I like to let the under eye concealer dry a little bit before I blend it out, but everything else I like to blend out immediately just because I feel like it looks really like, not crackly, but like patchy if I let it dry. So now I'm going into my inner corner with a light shimmer shade. I'd say almost a white shade. And using that same color under my eyebrow. And then I am blending that out more because I really don't like the harsh look of the underbrow highlight and it just like being highlight and then a dark color. I want it to look flawless together and like blended out. Or I guess I should say blended in together. So I'm just using that same orange shade to do that, just lightly. Now I'm using my Real Techniques brush again to do my under eye concealer. I love using my brush to do my concealer. I feel like it looks better. I do have a beauty blender. Well, it's a Real Techniques sponge, but I don't know. I feel like she's not doing it for me. She just doesn't do it for me sometimes, and I feel like the brush gives me more coverage under my eyes, which I understand the sponge picks up excess product, but I know it doesn't look like I have dark under eye circles, or maybe it does, I don't know, but to me, when I use the sponge, it just picks up so much product that it's like I didn't even put on concealer, and you can still see my bags, and I don't like that. So now I'm using that same brush to blend out my contour or my bronzer or whatever. I just feel like it helps it look better, more even with my skin and not just a harsh line when I use the same brush with the lighter foundation and concealer and everything. It just helps it blend out better onto my skin tone, make it look more even and not just like a patch of dark. Because I know some girls be walking around like that, and I could not. I'm so sorry. If y'all are one of those girls, do what makes you happy, but sis, I could not. So now I'm spraying my face. I use a few setting sprays, actually, because I really like to make sure my makeup stays on. So after I spray, I immediately use my powder, which I use the Sephora MicroSmooth powder, or whatever it's called. Like I've been saying, I will have it in the description box so you guys know exactly what I'm using, but I love doing this technique as someone with really dry skin. I feel like it just makes my makeup look so much better. Like you can't even tell that I really have powder on, which makes me extremely happy because like I told y'all, I have dry patches and I cannot stand to look at myself if my skin even looks cakey to like the minimalist degree. I just can't. So now I'm using my Ofra bronzer on top of that. I just feel like y'all can tell my skin looks so much better with the oil mixed with the foundation, setting spray, and then powder immediately. Like it just helps everything just set onto my face so like flawlessly. So now I'm using my blush. I'm a huge blush girl. I feel like blush makes the look. I'm sure I've said this before, but blush is like one of the most important steps to me. Even if I do the bare minimum makeup, I am putting on blush. I used to have a Clinique cream blush, and I wish I still had some now, because how I use the cream bronzer. I just feel like that helps my skin look so much better, and it's much easier for me if I'm doing a quick look, but I need a new one. So if you guys have any suggestions for that, please let me know. So now I'm just going under my eyeballs, just smoking out my under eye, what is it called, my waterline, whatever. Just set my face one more time with another setting spray, and now I'm putting on some lip gloss. So I'm not much of a lip person, but I'm trying to like expand my palette when it comes to lip colors. So I just have these little lip glosses to get my lips used to wearing something on them, because I really am not a lipstick girl. So I'm using this brown lip gloss, and I put on my magnetic eyelashes by Tori Belle. I will have a link in the description below if you guys are interested in trying those bad boys.